Jose Maria Zaragoza, a forgotten architect. Who is Jose Maria Zaragoza, and why he was named by a website, philstar.com, a forgotten architect? Let us see if the student from FEU knows something about this architect.
Buhay pa ba yun? Sino ba yun?
Ha? Sino yun? Wala kasi akong kilalang national artist.
Jose Maria Zaragoza is a national artist of architecture. Zaragoza was one of the first Filipinos educated in architecture in the Philippines. He graduated with a BS in architecture from the University of Santo Tomas in 1936. He placed 7th in the licensure examination in 1938, making him the 82nd registered architect in the country. It was late 1950s when Zaragoza traveled to Rome, Italy to attend a conference on the new standards of design for Catholic churches at the International Institute of Liturgical Art, an effort to bring the priest and the parishioner closer. He was the only Asian present in the conference. It was also that moment when he earned his diploma. He also had a diploma in comprehensive planning at the Hilversum Technical Research Center in Netherlands. Zaragoza was involved in designing several religious buildings, such as the Our Lady of the Holy Rosary in Tala, Caloocan, completed in 1950, the Santo Domingo Church in Quezon City, and the Villa San Miguel in Mandaluyong, both which was finished in 1954. The Pius XII Center in Manila, completed in 1958, and the expansion of the Quiapo Church, completed in 1984. A project met with some controversy. Did you know that Santo Domingo Church is also known as National Shrine of Our Lady of the Holy Rosary of La Naval de Manila? This church is the largest church in Metro Manila and one of the biggest churches in Asia. This was founded on October 10, 1954 as a national shrine, and on February 23, 1972, this was founded as a parish. This is the masterpiece of no other than Jose Maria Zaragoza. He was invited by Brazilian architects Oscar Niemeyer and Lucio Costa to be one of the guest architects in designing Brasilia, which was planned to be the new capital city of Brazil. Zaragoza also designed the Union Church of Manila, a shell-shaped church that resembled the Philippine Exposition Hall in Europe of 1936. Zaragoza also designed the St. John Bosco and the National Shrine of Our Lady of the Miraculous Medal. Overall, he designed about 45 churches and religious centers. Zaragoza also designed the Meralco Building and the Zaragoza Building, and he contributed to the design of the National Library of the Philippines and to the design of the Bataan Power Plant of the National Power Corporation. A fun fact, aside from the churches, altogether, he designed 36 office buildings, 4 hotels, 2 hospitals, 5 low-cost and middle-income housing projects, as well as more than 270 residences. In all his architectural projects, Zaragoza was ably helped by his wife, Pilar Rocielo. At the height of the architectural career of Zaragoza, the husband and wife tandem was a team to beat. Zaragoza doing the structural aspects, and Pilar doing the interiors, particularly wood carpentry and furniture. Living with the motto, land should not be wasted, Zaragoza was honored in 1972 with the Patnubay ng Sining at Kalinangan Award by the City of Manila. 4 years later, the Philippine Institute of Architects presented him with the Golden Medal of Merit, bestowed to him by no other than his mentor, Johann.
Kuya, kilala niyo po ba si Benedicto Cabrera? Anong alam niyo sa kanya?
Painter.
Wow! Oo, tama ka. Isa siyang
Painter.
painter, national artist.
Hi.
Kilala mo ba si Benedicto Cabrera? Hindi. He is a painter. Di ba nagpe-paint ka din?
Sakto lang.
Oo, he is a painter. SKL.
SKL.
Ate, kilala mo ba si Benedicto Cabrera?
Sino yan?
Isang national artist. Isa siyang painter.
Benedicto Reyes Cabrera, better known as Ben Cab, is a Filipino painter with many awards. Ben Cab was born to Democrito Cabrera and Isabel Reyes in Malabon, Philippines on April 10, 1942. He was the youngest of 9 children. Ben Cab's first exposure and discovery of the awards happened through his elder brother Salvador, who was already an established artist during Ben Cab's childhood. Here are some paintings of Salvador. They do really are talented. Ben Cab went on to study at the University of the Philippines, Diliman, where he explored different art in visual forms, photography, draftsmanship, printmaking, while honing his chosen craft as a painter. He received his bachelor's degree in fine arts in 1963. Throughout the years, Benedicto Cabrera became an icon in the Philippine art scene. He is widely known for his abstract and minimalist contemporary art, but he draws his inspiration from life itself. Ben Cab never fails to capture the delicate movements and raw emotions of the people he encountered in life and even in his memories. For Ben Cab, there are 3 things an artist needs in order to succeed: curiosity, passion, and making art from life. During the later part of the 1960s, Ben Cab's personal life took him to London, where he took printmaking classes and participated in gallery shows. He discovered colonial Filipino photographs at antique shops in Chelsea. These photographs became the visual anchor of his Larawan series, which he exhibited at the Luz Gallery after his return to the Philippines in the 1972. After 13 years in London, Benedicto finally decided to come home to the Philippines and stay for good, settling down in his cousin's house in Baguio, where the climate was similar to London's. Bencab was awarded as the National Artist of the Philippines for Visual Arts in the year 2006. He has been noted as arguably the best-selling painter for his generation. Eventually, the Bencab Museum was established, housing the artist's collection of artwork, along with those of renowned Filipino masters, as well as up-and-coming contemporary artists. The Bencab Museum is dedicated to promoting the arts as well as preservation, conservation, and protection of the environment and the culture and traditions of the Cordilleras. Let's go and check what's inside Bencab's museum. Here are some Mr. Benedicto's artworks.
Tres Marias, made with acrylic on canvas, 2003. Twins, made with acrylic on canvas, 2001. Woman with winnowing basket, made with acrylic on canvas, 2002. Long-haired woman, made with acrylic on canvas, 1998. Lovers, made with acrylic on canvas, 1992. Jose Rizal, made with acrylic on canvas, 2011.
And last but not the least, Sabel. Sabel is an instance of making art from life. When Bencab was in his apartment in Bangbang, he saw a disheveled woman wearing scraps of plastic, wandering the street, scavenging for food. At the time, Cabrera was working as an illustrator and layout artist for a magazine. But after seeing the woman, he seized the opportunity and drew abstract sketches of the subject. He considers that woman, who he named Sabel, is not just a representation of a homeless woman. She could be any Filipino. To Bencab, Sabel was human and he wanted to capture that essence. Here's a short interview of our national artist.
Tell us something about how you started as an artist, how you became an artist.
Well, it's always been my
Okay lang.
my obsession to draw.
Oh.
Number one, my brother I have a brother who's a painter, and he's much older than me, 13 years difference. I'm the youngest of 9.
Oh.
And I used to just watch him and be fascinated with what he can do with a blank piece of paper and things come out, things like that. And I just wanted to be an artist also.
Buong time dito ba kayo sa Baguio or Manila?
Well, I grew up in Manila.
Okay.
And I left the Philippines in 1969 when I met my future wife. And we traveled and stayed in London for 13 years. So I came here in 1986, right before the snap election,
Yes.
you know. And so it was very good timing for me to be back in the Philippines and be involved in the scene.
Honored as National Artist in Painting in 1981, Vicente S. Manansala is considered the country's pioneer in Cubism. He was the one of the 13 moderns led by Victorio C. Edades and was the one of the big three in the modernist movement, along with Cesar Legazpi and H.R. Ocampo. In addition, he formed a group of neorealists together with Romeo Tabuena and Anita Magsaysay Ho. Manansala developed transparent cubism, and his works were done mostly in figurative mode, reflecting the society and the local environment. He favored the styles of Picasso and Cézanne, and believed that the true beauty of art lay in the process of creating it. Manansala was born in Macabebe, Pampanga on January 22, 1910. He was the second of the 8 children of Perfecto Q. Manansala and Engracia Silva. At the age of 15, he studied under painter Ramon Peralta while doing work painting movie posters at the shops in Manila. He entered the University of the Philippines School of Fine Arts in 1926 and graduated in 1930. He continued his studies under a UNESCO grant at the École des Beaux-Arts in Banff and Montreal, Canada in 1949, and under a French government scholarship at the École des Beaux-Arts in Paris in 1950. His training did not end here, and in 1960, he received a grant from United States to study stained glass techniques in New York. He also trained at the Otis Art Institute in 1967 and received another grant in 1970, this time from Germany to study in Zurich. Manansala worked as an illustrator for the Philippines Herald and the YY, and as a layout artist for Photo News and Saturday Evening News magazine in the 1930s. He held his first one-man show at the Manila Hotel in 1951, and then went on to work as a professor at the University of Santo Tomas School of Fine Arts from 1951 to 1958. Vicente C. Manansala died in Makati in 1981.
These are the 3 of 8 large charcoal and paper portraits collectively known as Parisian Boudoir of Vicente Manansala. These are done while learning Cubism under Fernand Leger in Paris from 1950 to 1951. He was the first Filipino to receive the École des Beaux-Arts, a French government scholarship at the University of Paris. Despite having studied under one of the pillars of Cubism, Manansala never took after his guru nor after Picasso, whom he idolized. Instead, he further developed his own style in Cubism, which was later called Transparent Cubism. The barong-barong is represented by a series of simple, geometric forms, sharply lit but unstable and awkward. Manansala's visual interest lies in a close-up shot in which the geometry of the makeshift dwellings offered a secure structure on which to deploy, in their different ways, their patterns of broken color and sensitively rendered surfaces. There are no squatters in Vicente Manansala's work. Instead, there are cardboards and wood shanties. The barong-barong or makeshift dwellings is huddled together like hapless human beings on private property. Manansala won the first prize at the Manila Grand Open Exhibition and Competition in 1950. The winning entry was called Barong-Barong No. 1. As in squatters of several years later, the Barong-Barong painting did not show people. It was as if the artist's message was that such dwellings were not fit for human beings. Also, he stated elsewhere, he is more fascinated with the challenges inherent in the structure and design of the dwellings themselves. It doesn't mean that Manansala did not subscribe to the social consciousness aesthetic. The artist is famous for his abiding sympathy for common folk like beggars and vendors. Occasionally, he would indulge in the inequalities between rich and poor. In Barong-Barong, however, the subject is underplayed in favor of composition and design. The mural in Bayan is one of the most controversial commissions of Vicente Manansala. In 1975, founding chairman of the Philippine Heart Center for Asia and the former First Lady Imelda Marcos commissioned the artist to create the mural for the lobby of the hospital's Medical Arts Building. The mural depicts the former First Lady as the mother of the country, which sparked uproar from the militant groups against the Marcoses. During that period, the sole reason of being linked to the first family was enough to stir a controversy. On February 28, 2011, the National Museum declared the mural as an important cultural property.